comfortable here on the beach side. Hey, Instagram, it's me, T, from the Pattersons, taking the train to the vet, coming to you in blue light. Oh, shout out to Blue Light Brigade for this Grand Rising report. Yes, it's a Monday, and the sun's going to come up that way. I'll show you if it comes. Well, whatever. And well, another Monday, which means I sit here and I reflect. Man, I've been listening to some stuff on the good old internety. It's something else. The world is, whoo. And I'm not talking about, look, stuff happens, and this is an interesting thing. Stuff happens, and then you got to sift through. There's so much stuff happening, you got to sift through what you got to sift through. And while they have you focus on this or that, stuff that really matters to you, you might miss. That's all I'm saying, So anyway, it's actually the 24th of February, which actually makes it my brother's peace and blessings on the eternal soul. It's his birthday, and I miss him dearly. I mean, it's like I can't explain this to you, but we had the point is this: it wasn't when I was younger, I used to follow my brother around there, like all young brothers, whatever have you. And if, when he got with his crew, he's like 2.5 years older than I am, whatever, 3 years older. His crew was a little bit older, right? And they would let me hang out with them. I don't know why. I was like a good mascot. I don't know. Actually, I do know why. They would ask me questions, and I'd give them answers because I'd be talking, And I guess I was entertaining to them. Anyway, but when they didn't want me around, they would say something like, "Oh no, you have to have 2 digits." Like I'd be like 8 years old or 9 years old or whatever. So no, you have to have 2 digits. Then when I got to be 10, then they said they didn't want me to hang out. They said, "Oh, you got to be a teen." Be like every 13, something like that. They kept that up for a long time, So that's the way it was kind of. But at some particular point, you stop following your older sibling around. But what he led me to really was a cadet corps. This is important. Because he went to the cadet corps. Of course, I went with him to the cadet corps, North Church, up there in the South Bronx. And he was like a flag bearer, He was a good flag bearer. And so from 9 years old, basically, I grew up in the cadet corps till I left the South, till I left to the Air Force when I was 19, right? So it took about a good 10 years. But the cadet corps gave me the discipline. Well, I should let me go back. The cadet corps gave me more discipline because my grandmother gave us discipline. In fact, if anybody should, here's the funny thing. If you want to know who I am, all you have to do, somebody I think I was in Philippi, one of the kids just in Cape Town, it's a township in Cape Town, and they said something, and I said, well, if you knew my grandmother, you know me because I am my grandmother's grandson. So my grandmother gave us the discipline, the fortitude, if you will, right? But the cadet corps just accent that discipline also gave me the skills, gave me skills, and because I always was I would come home excited to teach my younger brothers and sisters whatever I learned, so I was always teaching, So they gave me the discipline, and it was really important, and also a confidence beyond all else because the way the cadet was. Just talk about the New York Submission Society Cadet Corps in New York. Those of you people, it's like 155th Street and right off of whatever, down from St. Nick, whatever, Broadway and between Broadway and St. Nick, whatever, Sugar Hill basically, and but that was the headquarters. But our unit was in the Bronx. They had units in Lower East Side. They had units all over the city. Very incredible program. And we learned everything. Everything. Fencing, everything. When I say everything, I mean everything, right? It was more dynamic than the Boy Scouts, let's put it that way. But I won't dwell on that. But here's the thing. For instance, with the fraternity, it gives you certain things. 1 year I won, I guess when I was 17, I won officer of the year, something like that. And whatever of the year, I don't know, awards, And I'm really not into awards, but what the hell, they help you to put yourself forward. So that gave me that. But then then when I realized, then I went to the Air Force, and that was a breeze. That was just I would say that's to my obligations, because if I wasn't going to the Air Force, then I was going to be in the jungles of Vietnam, and that wasn't a good thing. I mean, I knew about all this stuff. I wanted to tell you. The Air Force gave me an outlet. I was a holy terror, man. In the Air Force, look, when I'm in Virginia, because I'm a veteran, they say something like, "Thank you for your service." That happens now. When if you're true in Vietnam, they weren't saying thank you for your service after you got out. But it didn't matter to me, because when I was in the service I was given, I was basically serving the community, because I never went to the Nam. I never went, in country. I never left the States. That was the McGuire Air Force Base. But I turned that thing into basically a Black Panther program. We did sickle cell screening. We did lead poison screening. We did community work. We put on the fairs that gave back to the community. It was really interesting. In fact, a lot of times you have these, they just had a photo opportunity with the guy Tiger Woods or whatever have you, and they get the medal of this and whatever have you. It's a photo opportunity. You go someplace and they take the. Well, I had a photo opportunity. This program was so serious. We went all the way up to New York. We was in Jersey, mid-Jersey, whatever, down there, Fort Dix, exit 7, if you will, off of the turnpike, and we went all the way up to Far Rockaway in New York, So we got an award from John Lindsay. There's a famous picture, There's a picture, a photo op, And so all of lab technicians, we were there, because we were all enlisted, lower base, with no officers involved. And that's when the famous Tony Sloan smirk came out, because we was waiting all day for this thing. Then he came, gave us our little award, and it was really interesting. Anyway, so I'm not into any of these awards. I'm not into photo ops or nothing like that. I bring that up because, and I'm going to really switch over right now. Well, I'll do that another time, but that gave me one thing. But the thing that gave me insight into everything was theater, which I had before I went to the Air Force, and theater after I went to the Air Force, and radio. That gave me a whole other thing, organization, all the rest of that stuff. But here's the thing. In DeBrother, I'm supposed to talk to the newly formed MK party. I'm supposed to talk to the locals of the MK party. I was supposed to before I left, right? And I decided I ain't speaking to these people, because I'm looking at those political things. I'm listening to all stuff in Africa and whatever have you. I'm going like, they're not doing anything different. They got this, because what happens, let me put it this way. If you want to talk to, the big guy, Zuma, the big guy, right? You got to go through like 8 layers to get to him, tell him the story, each layer, right? So what happens is each layer is fraught with, thing of corruption, being paid off, of stealing your ideas. So by the time you get to the big guy, you know what I mean? And these structures, these political structures are all like that. Here's the problem. Unlike when my commander-in-chief, Commander Ibrahim, goes around, it's a photo op, but you can see he's actually talking to the farmers and talking to whatever, and getting from them. I don't think they vet these people, but it's a different kind of thing. But these other kind of political things, I was listening to what's the guy from Uganda? I don't know. Is he still president? I don't know. The one that betrayed Gaddafi. Anyway, because they just have this whole thing where he was boinking some woman that he knew since she was 3 years old, and whatever. Affair. You could tell. Oh, and Paul Kagame, Clinton's boy. I read a headline. I haven't read the thing yet. He's sick or something like that. He got sick, whatever. You can tell when people are on their way out. Either there's a sex scandal they promote, even if it's for years ago, or they get some sort of illness they got to take care of, right? Or a family thing. The point is, you can tell when somebody's going their way out. So I think the young people, they're rising with the advent of information coming out. It's going to be really interesting what's happening in the States with the guy that's the head of the FBI now, who's going to turn into a museum. All kinds of things are happening. But that shouldn't distract you. What I'm trying to say is this. It's not distracting me. You have to have, look, let me put it this way. My ultimate goal is what I call the ultimate liberation, right? Freeing peoples, right? Freeing the downtrodden, giving the downtrodden back to them. But to get to that, one of the tactics, one of the vectors I want to use is reparations, right? No, honestly, right? So my goal is not reparations. My goal is ultimate liberation. Reparations is one. There's a lot of ways to get to that, right? But to me, the current thing to do is to really focus on reparations. I don't care about anything else. They can say, you can talk about this, that, or the other. Leave that alone. Get yourself a focus and do that one thing to get to your ultimate goal. So that means you have to have an ultimate goal. You have to have that one thing. But to get to that one thing, you have to know yourself, which means you have to go really dig into yourself, find out who you are, so that you can address that. And don't get knocked off your square. That's it. That's the message for this Grand Rising report. And I've been trying to keep you long enough to have the sun come up. I'm sure it's past, not really sure, but let me turn this around just so you can see, because it's sort of a haze out there. So the sun is probably right there, but you're not going to be able to see it. I'm gonna turn this around so I'll keep on riffing, because I'm a radio man. You know, when radio is about sound, no dead air. So right where you're seeing this coming that way, the sun's going to come up over there. So I'm going to have to start coming out a little bit later so you can actually see the sun rise. The sun is going to rise, believe me. Oh, look at the doggy here. Dog, scratch it. Oh, that's, so anyway, there's people on the beach. Oh, there's the fishermen coming in. So it's coming in. The fisher people coming in, or going out, doing both, I guess. And people come to see the sunrise. They get their cameras and stuff like to take pictures. You'll notice that there's nobody really in the water, because let me tell you, there's no lifeguards here and stuff like that. And we're in Tamil Nadu, part of India. The Tamils or this, they don't be swimming, right? Nobody be swimming, and nobody, you out there, nobody's going to save you. So they don't really go in. They keep their clothes on and do whatever they do. Okay, so I'm gonna leave y'all. I might take, well, I did it last week, take a picture of the sunrise, but I'm not sure I want to do that. I'm gonna just let y'all go, and I'll sit here and keep on contemplating for a little while. This, I'm gonna take a special thing today. I'm gonna try to do something special today. I'm gonna walk up to town, do something, whatever, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.